Alright, so I'm going to demonstrate how we can run EEG experiments in Jupyter Notebooks using the nteract desktop app. So I'll open up the app. Now I'm going to open our N170 experiment. Now there's a whole bunch of imports. We have to execute that cell. That's not very important though. Now we can have text elements and code elements to define the experiment. First thing we'll do is search for available Muse devices. Now we found one Muse, and now we can create a streaming process. To execute these cells, all you have to do is go over here and click on this arrow, or press Shift-Enter when you're inside them. And now we've connected to our headband and we're streaming. Next step would be to look at the data and wait for it to get under a variance of 10, which it looks like I am at if I would stop talking. Cool, so now that I know I can get the variances of all the different electrodes under 10, I can actually keep this open and revisit it later in the experiment. Now I'm going to run the experiment. So I'm going to set how long I want to run this experiment. Could be 120 seconds for 2 full minutes, but for this demo I'll do 10. And then I'll write down my subject ID and session number, and then just press run. Oh, and run here. Cool, so it collected that data and wrote it into a file. And in this next section, what we would ordinarily do is keep the same subject and session variables declared up above to load that data, but to show the analysis properly, I'll use previously collected data. And now one of the easiest things to do is to take a look at the power spectrum of the data, just to make sure the noise was manageable. And this is a really good data set, so you can see not too much noise in the PSD, and then a huge spike for line noise. And we can filter. Epoch the data. The only feedback we have right now is this percentage of samples that were dropped by being too noisy. And now we can analyze the data. And so here's our averaged epochs for houses, faces, for all the electrodes, and with a waveform that is the face waveform minus the house waveform. And this is a really good data set, so you can see some N170 around the 0.2 mark, and then some visual evoked potentials up there. And at this point, once the experiment's been analyzed, the students could type into these text boxes whatever they need for their notes. And the cool thing about this is that the students can save these documents and submit them to their teachers, and their teachers can grade them. And that's about it.